right, I'm filming this introduction after having recorded the video because I wanted to be sure of my spoilers. What this video is basically going to be is me going through shot by shot by shot of the teaser trailer, mostly. I think there's maybe once or twice where I put two shots that I think go together, but the rest of the time it's me just going shot by shot and giving you my thoughts that I have after having watched it many, many times. I'm going to call it a breakdown, but it's not going to be as systematic. Like, I don't have notes. These are the thoughts that I had, and I'm talking about them raw. Basically, you're getting my raw thoughts. The spoilers in this are going to go through to the end of, I'm going to say Lord of Chaos. So if you've read as far as Lord of Chaos, you are good to go. If you have not read as far as Lord of Chaos, bye-bye. This is dangerous. Here there be dragons. Metaphorical dragons. So, yeah. But, yeah, for the rest of you, enjoy.
Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy. Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy.
Okay, so the first shot, the trailer is the shot of Rhuidean and, or Rhuidean, I don't know how they're going to pronounce it in the show, but like, it is there. It's a city in the clouds. It's, the ruins, like the size, the scope of that, it's great. It looks like you can sort of see a wall around the city, which is a little different. Like, I don't think there's a wall in the books, but I'm fine with that. That's cool. And okay, the other thing I'll do, but I mean, obviously the gem of this shot is that's Rhuidean. But okay, the other things in this shot, I'm going to go through and see how many of these people I can name. I'm wrong about a lot of things, so I'm just guessing here, but okay. In my reaction, I think I called this person Lan. It was just misspeaking. I meant to say Rand. I think this is Rand. I think this person here, I think this is Lan. You can sort of see a sword there. And then this person is giving Avienda to me. This person, Moiraine, and then that giant person, Rhuarc, probably, or like another Aiel clan chief. I don't know. That's the thought, though. Rhuarc makes the most sense. Just giant Aiel makes the most sense. And then there's this person in white over there, and another one here. Obvious guess, Gaishan, or Gaishane, I don't know. Or wise ones. That's the other thought that I'm having there, and then just other Aiel, and then of course just a line of spears. I don't think that's Aiel. I think that's just spears for some reason. A suggestion that was made like when discussing the poster is it's the spears of clan chiefs who went in, or people who were trying to be clan chiefs who went into Rhuidean and never came out. It's thought. But anyway, yeah, this is the very first shot of the trailer, and it's Rhuidean. Yes. Next shot is this one of Moiraine. The first time I saw this, I think this was actually the thumbnail. My first thought was, why is she frozen? It's obviously not ice, it's sand. It's clearly sand. My guess, and again, grain of salt, I've been wrong about a lot of things, but is that this is maybe a shot from mid her going through the rings in Rhuidean. Like maybe going into the ter'angreal, there's some sort of weird space-time dilation thing, and so that's what's happening here with her hair, like she's falling sort of through time and space as she's experiencing all of this, and it's in Rhuidean, so there's lots of dust, and that's why she's got dust on her face. That's my guess. Again, huge, massive grains of salt, piles of salt. I am guessing. This shot stumped me in my reaction. I could not figure out what this was. On rewatch, it's obvious. This is Age of Legends. So I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I could still be wrong, but just the scope of those statues. Like, we see this remnants of this in the show of like sculptures carved into walls and remnants of bridges and old buildings. So that makes sense. It looks like the Age of Legends. I'm assuming all of these statues are Aes Sedai, like male and female Aes Sedai doing some sort of symbolic pose or gesture. Like, I will protect and serve, or servants of all. And again, the thought that I'm having looking at this is Aes Sedai walking into the Hall of Servants. Can't really see them very well, but those people there kind of like the clothes they're wearing, the colors, the monochromatic nature of their clothes is giving Aes Sedai to me as well. And also Age of Legends. It's doing both. So that's my thoughts on this scene. The other thing that made me go, oh, it's the Age of Legends, is the voiceover that happens during this scene. It is...
The world is changing.
The world is changing.
It makes sense to me that that would be being said over a shot of the Age of Legends. There is debate as to whose voice that is. I'm hearing Sophie Okonedo, so I'm hearing Swan. But I mean, there's just so many people it could be. Like it could be Aes Sedai from the Age of Legends during Rand's going through the columns. I don't know, but I'm hearing Sophie Okonedo in that. How about you? Then we got this shot of Moiraine looking up. It very much looks like Tar Valon to me. There's somebody coming out of the room over there. You can see them. It's got I think, has a sword over their shoulder. So I'm thinking Lan. And this looks like Tar Valon, which is interesting, given that Moiraine took an oath not to return to Tar Valon unless Swan Sanche called her home. Now there's so many, because of the nature of this season, we know that Moiraine is going to have her visions. This could be a vision. This could be a dream. It could be that Swan actually called her home. I don't know, but that's what this is. Also, the other thing I'm going to note, I could be wrong about this, and I will be talking to Pez about this, but I think that the blouse that Moiraine is wearing here is the same blouse she was wearing in the season finale of season 2. This clip in my files I called Creepy Rand, because he looks creepy. Again, it's very clearly that's Yosha Shazowski. That's who that is. So it's clearly like it's Rand. But again, given the nature of the season, not sure what this could be. This could be, and my main guess for what this is, it's Rand going through the lives of his ancestors as he goes through the glass columns in Rhuidean. So this could be, it has to be kind of Age of Legends. I don't think it could be any of the Aiel post-breaking to the founding of Rhuidean, because of the fact that his clothes are all clean and he looks perfectly like clean shaven and strong and healthy. So, and even like the curl and of his hair is giving, again, Age of Legends. So this is one of the Daishan Aiel. I'm not sure how we pronounce that word. We'll see what the show does, but that is my guess for who this is. Oh, the other guess that I had, I can't remember what I said during my reaction. But the other guess that I had for what this could possibly be is, again, we know that Moiraine also has her like flicker, her equivalent of a flicker here. So this could be Rand in one of her flickers. Lan looking badass. That's what this is. There's not really much to see here. Like, he's in the waist, I'm assuming. We've got that there. My guess for what this is sword training. Just because I think if it was an actual fight, I don't think he'd be taking time to square off with somebody. Whereas, like, he's taking time to, like, we're going to fight. So I'm guessing this is, like, during sword training, but I don't know. This made me squee. Look, okay, first of all, Liandrin's just always going to make me squee. I love Liandrin in the show. Obviously, love to hate, but also just love. She's so interesting and complex. This is her, like, full red, removing a veil from her face. I am fairly certain this is her in Tanchico. Now, she's got the veil covering her entire face, but that makes sense for, somebody who's trying to hide. There's also people in the background. It's kind of hard to see, but I think I'm seeing veils on faces or some like masks or things obscuring faces, which again is giving, I don't know why I keep saying giving. It's making me think of Tanchico. Where am I picking that up from? I don't know. Sorry, but that's the thought that I'm having. There's like somebody in the background here. I'm not sure. I've heard some people suggest that might be Naomi. I don't think so, because I don't know why Naomi would be in Tanchico, unless she's also a dark friend, which I don't want her to be, but she could be. But it could just be something like that. What is the name of the tavern that they go to in the Shadow Rising, where like the girls meet Agianin and Bail Domon? That's what I was thinking this place could be. Like a place like that. So that could be like, whatever, is her name Rendra, who works there? That's my thought. Elayne putting on a crown. Of course, the first thought I had when I saw this was, oh, Kevin's gonna love this. Kevin, a member of the Wheel of Time fandom, who is in love with Elayne, of course. And so, yeah. I don't know. We don't get a look at Elaine's accepted test in the books. This could be a part of her accepted test, but if it is, it's very weird that she's wearing her novice clothes while putting on the crown. It could be a dream that would make more sense for wearing novice clothes while putting on the crown. She's in Tar Valon. Like, that's what this sort of, I don't know what you want to call this, the stonework in the window looks like. That looks like the stonework that we're used to seeing in Tar Valon. So why there's a crown here? Like, I have a suspicion that her brothers are coming to the tower this season. So maybe one of them, I don't know, brought a crown with them. I don't know why. I'm talking this through. I don't fully know what's happening in the scene, but there's all of my thoughts on it. What are yours? Okay. First thought I had when I saw this was, oh, Swan on the throne. But then I was like, wait. As it brightens up, that is red. Swan would never wear red on the Amyrlin Seat. She just wouldn't. And then that looks like Lanfear. Like the sleeves look Lanfear. Everything about the silhouette looks Lanfear. So why would Swan be sitting on the Amyrlin Seat talking to Lanfear? That doesn't make any sense at all. But okay. The voiceover for this section, though.
Who knows how deep the shadow's roots have taken hold here? Who knows how deep the shadow's roots have taken hold here?
That dialogue doesn't necessarily be spoken during this scene, but that is, to me, Swan beginning her Black Aja hunt. So probably before the shredding that occurs, that Rafe talked about, that happens in this season, early on in this season. Now, I initially was like, this has to be then Liandrin, right? Especially because I think I see blonde hair there. But when I get closer, I don't know that that's blonde hair. It might be the stole that I'm looking at. And I can't actually see the color of her hair. Like, if I even make it bigger, I really can't see the color of her hair. And there's no face shape to speak of whatsoever. So it could be Liandrin. Liandrin makes the most sense for talking to Lanfear, because this very much, like, if it's not Lanfear, I will be shocked. This very much looks like Lanfear. So yeah, Liandrin makes the most sense for talking to Lanfear, but I also just really, really want to see Shore. So I kind of am hoping that this is Shore Gadash. Like, I'm hoping this is Elaida. I don't know, though, why Elaida would be talking to Lanfear. Elaida wouldn't know Lanfear from a hole in the wall. So, like, but it would be, she wouldn't also let Lanfear sit on the Amyrlin Seat. Like, she wouldn't let anybody do that. So I don't know. Maybe it's a dream. I really want to see Elaida. I really want to see her. So those are my thoughts. And then Moiraine with what the fandom is now calling the Choden Ball. I will give you honest reaction. The first time I saw this, I was like, why is she holding a ball of ice? I don't understand. And then my brain, I got in its like excited haze, was like, well, she's in the way. She's probably really thirsty. But then I don't know why she would have a ball of ice. But then, of course, it's not. Like, it's clearly not. It is Sangreal or Terangreal, depending on how you want to classify the Choden Kal, or the Choden Ball. It technically is a Terangreal because its job is as an access key to the Choden Kal, but then the Choden Kal are just a Sangreal, so there you go. It's basically splitting hairs here, but that's what this looks like. My guess, again, is this is her in Rhuidean, having found this. And much like that scene in The Great Hunt, where Rand sees, like, the actual Choden Kal, and it calls to him, and, like, I would imagine that that's what's happening here, because you see the power going, like, into it. We don't actually see it going into her yet, but that's what it looks like to me. And then there's this scene. Okay, we've got this text here. The Wheel of Time is blazing a new path for fantasy on television from Vulture. That is the text that is also on the poster that was just released. I do not know who this person is. The blowing skirts, I don't know. There's a lot of, like, most people are saying Moiraine. It could be Moiraine. I have no thoughts either way. Like, it could be Moiraine. It could be Lanfear. I don't know. I don't know. Could be Egwene standing up here, like, doing these massive weaves. Having it next to the scene with Moiraine with the Choden Ball makes me think that it's Moiraine. So that's it. We've got yellow and then green weaves coming up, which makes me go, that's air and earth, right? I don't know what this could be. I have no thoughts. It is gorgeous, though. As Rob from Malkier Talks pointed out to me when I watched this with him, look how, like, straight this drone shot is so good. Like, the sun just kisses the top of that rock there and stays steady the entire time. Oh, excellent work. Excellent work. I was worried we wouldn't get this, but we are getting this. We got Egwene's accepted test. Oh, okay. I don't know if we'll see it, like, Can we get an entire episode dedicated to it like we did with Nynaeve? Although it wasn't the entire episode, but it was a chunk of that episode. I don't know if we can. In the interview that was held after the panel at the Comic-Con in Brazil, Rafe mentioned an episode where everybody was like skipping reality. So my guess is that episode, which I think is going to be episode 4, just also based on something that Yasha Shadowski said in that same interview. We're going to see either Egwene's accepted test or Egwene learning the dream. We're going to see Moraine's flicker in the rings in Rhuidean, and we're going to see the glass columns at the same time. This, to me, feels like it has to happen earlier, though. I don't know. But okay. So we've got Lyanna here. Hold on, I'll move myself over. Lyanna, Swan, and then mysterious woman in white. Woman in white, and Aes Sedai in white. The only white Aja who I know by name is Alviarin. So that is where my brain is going with this. Which is ominous for somebody having shown up to Egwene's accepted test. I don't have much to say about this shot. This is Moiraine lying on the ground. I think this is her in the waist, just lying down, thinking, like, this could be, because she says in this trailer, she's seen 1,000 futures, and all of them she dies, blah, blah, blah. This could be her processing what happened. This is like, she's not hard done by here. Or it could be her, like, if things happen the way they happened in the books, her being told, like, by accident that she's supposed to go and trying to decide whether or not she should, given that, it's a very risky thing and most people go in, don't come out. So that, I don't know. These are thoughts. Your thoughts. Please let me know all your thoughts, comments. Opening. This is a shot. I do not know why. I could not for the life of me tell you, but my first thought when looking at this was, oh, it's Maddie. So this is Egwene. I don't know why I think it's Egwene. I have not examined her eyes that much. And it, like, on the heels of that shot of Moiraine, it makes way more sense that this is Moiraine. Whose eye do you think this is? Like, it's even bookended by another shot of Moiraine standing up. Again, not much to say about this. She's clearly in the waist, standing up. There you go. This is a tiny shot, but I love it. Like, it's Rand in the glass clouds, or it could be, I guess, Couladin going through the glass. Not Couladin, Mirrodin? Couladin's brother or cousin going through the glass clouds, but whatever. It's like the struggle to take a step forward, going through basically the trauma that they are re-experiencing in this moment. I love it. Also, look at the columns. They look so beautiful. Like, all lit up. I can't wait. Is it March yet? This is the only shot of Nynaeve. Well, it's not. It's not the only shot of Nynaeve, but we'll get to that. This is pretty much the only shot of Nynaeve in the trailer. So I'm a little sad about that. I'm not expecting this to be a strongly Nynaeve season. Like, I'm expecting... I am expecting some good things from her. Y'all know I'm desperate to see that Nynaeve Moggy scene, Moggy confrontation. I know Moggy's going to be here, and I'm excited about it, but I don't know. I'm hoping, I'm like fairly certain we're going to get it, but I don't know. But I know that this season, the focus is going to be Rand and Perrin, which I understand why they have to have their focus as well. Their stories are, for most people, the draw for these books. So talking about her, she's that's her accepted dress that she's wearing there, I'm pretty sure. I'm assuming she's in the tower. Okay, in my reaction, I assumed that this was happening during Egwene's accepted test, because why would they be lying down together? But then, of course, she is with him in the waist. So this makes sense. And this looks like the waist to me. Like, something about the clothes she's wearing feels Aiel, even though we've not seen Aiel wearing anything like that. Rand is covered in dust. That also feels like the waist. Everything's looking like it's basically living in a world where things get worn down by dust and sand. Again, looks like the waist. So, yeah. In that case, they guess they could just be lying in a tent together, or it could be the dream. And she's entered his dream, and that's why he looks so surprised in this moment. I could see that. The other thing to notice, of course, is the snakes behind them. And there has been some questioning about whether or not this is a fox pattern. You know, if we're getting snakes and foxes in some sort of like some sort of allusion to snakes and foxes. I don't know. More Moiraine, more Moiraine falling. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said about the other one, where like I think this is her experiencing or falling in some sort of time dilation thingy while going through the rings. But again, I've been wrong about most of my predictions, so there you go. If you're a fan of the book, tell me you didn't squee when you saw this. Like, I know it's actually not even that important that he knows how to sword fight, especially now. Like, as far as the story from here on out, Rand doesn't use his sword as much. He's learning to channel better. He used his sword much more earlier in the story, but still, this is just the relationship between Rand and Lan it's a good one. Like it's one that I want to dive into, and this is the vehicle through which a lot of it is told in the book. So this just warmed my heart. Just gave me a big old fan hug. Yes. Okay, so this person walking through the desert, the first one there, I'm assuming that's Rand. It looks like Rand, like even the way he walks looks like Rand. The other person, your guess? As good as mine, if not better. Other people's guesses I've heard is that it's a clan chief. Something like those are maybe clan chief ceremonial robes. I guess that could make sense. I don't know. I really don't know. There's also just this line of Aiel in the background there. People waiting. I don't know. I really don't know. We're obviously in the waste. That I know. But that's all I know. Okay, a lot of this season gonna be in the wastes. Great. Okay, we've got Rand and Moiraine here in like obviously a tent in the waste with between these women like on either side, who I'm assuming, at least I'm assuming they're women, but I'm assuming are going to be wise ones, or maybe Gaishan, just the color, because a lot of the other colors we're seeing people wear are not like this light color. So I don't know. Yeah, they are conferring in this moment. I don't know what they're thinking. My instinct, like the way they're looking at each other, is that they've been given information about going to Rhuidean or something, or getting permission. I don't know, but it's just a gut instinct that has nothing to do with like not based in anything really. But that's it. This might be my favorite shot in the trailer. I don't know. There's no people in it, but it's just beautiful. It's a Vendosora. It's the tree. And there's no ropes hanging from it. So, you know, this is either before that happens or that's not going to happen. And I have not seen in this trailer evidence of Matt here. So, yeah. I don't know. I have no words really, except I just want to look at it. I think those are the glass columns there underneath it, like these obelisk shaped things. I think. I don't know, but I mean, just look at the tree. Isn't it pretty? Don't you want to sit under there? I do. Rand in the columns, like the strain on his face in this. It's I don't know. It's so perfect to me. Like it's just. This is how I don't really envision things, but this is the feeling he's evoking here is the feeling I feel whenever like we go in between his visions or his memories or whatever you want to call them as he goes through the glass columns and he struggles to take a step forward. The feeling on his face right here is the feeling I feel in those moments. This clearly one of Moraine's flickers. This is Moiraine watching Rand die. I'm assuming like she's the Amyrlin there. She's got the headdress and like the robes that Swan wore. So this would be one of the ways that life played out that failed. I'm assuming that that's what this is. This is very dramatic. I'm assuming also that Rosamund Pike loved getting to wear this outfit because, you know, you don't normally get to wear the costumes of your castmates. So yes, Avienda. Overlooking the waste. I don't know how I know that this is Avienda. It just do. Watch us all be wrong, because I've heard everybody say Avienda. We could all be wrong, but it looks like Avienda from behind, just overlooking the threefold land. There you go, girl. And one of the, I think, 4 smooches we get in this trailer. We've got one here between Rand and Lanfear. And yeah, that's still happening. I'm going to guess this is happening in a dream. Because obviously Rand knows who she is, so why would he? There was a lot of Lanfear in this trailer. So they made this trailer, I'm assuming, with Matt Hatch in mind, but also with the rest of the fandom. Like, I said this in one of the live streams I was on today. I'm not sure which one, but I would be curious to know if there was as much Lanfear, if they had as much Lanfear planned for season 3 before filming season 2. Because, like, Lanfear is definitely in book 4, but she's not in book 4 looking like this for a lot of it. And even then she's not as much of a presence. She's sort of in the background. But then you film season 2 and you realize what a gem, like what a jewel you have in Natasha O'Keeffe. Like she captivates you every second she's on screen. And so when you're writing season 3, you're like, well, I mean, we could put more of her in it. I feel like the same thing must have happened with Liandrin. Like, it's just like, yes, we have these amazing actors. Put them on screen more because they're so good. So I'm curious. We'll probably never get an answer to that. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you had asked me before season 2, this would have upset me this much, Lanfear. But I am dying to see her because she's incredible. Speaking of things I'm dying to see, this scene rendered me speechless. Like, rendered me completely speechless. But I have theories about what this is. Okay. So, obviously, I mean, it's, you know, fun, adult, grown-up, sexy time that turns deadly. Like, you could see the look on Moraine's face when she opens her eyes. It's like, oh, fuck. So, that is Lanfear in the same outfit that she was wearing when Moiraine shanked her. On top of Moiraine, and Moiraine initially looking like she's enjoying it. Later on, we're going to see, because I'm doing this, you know, in order that they appeared in the actual trailer, we'll see Siuan and Moiraine in their love shack, right? I believe it is confirmed that the love shack it's Teleron-Riyadh. Like, it's basically a pocket of Teleron-Riyadh. You know who's really good in the world of dreams? It's Lanfear. So I could see her while maybe Moiraine and Siuan were reuniting and it felt so good, and then she just, like, does this shit. And, like, this, that's my guess. That's, like, a wild theory I'm having, but I also just wanted to talk a lot and leave this on screen because the scene, man, holy crap. And it was followed immediately by this scene of her choking Moiraine. Again, this time in the desert, while wearing, like, fabulous, like, they're both wearing really fabulous clothes. Moraine's in this, like, iridescent blue, but, like, look at what Lanfear's wearing. Like, the cut of it, the way it shimmers in the sun. I probably should not be raving about her as she murders my girl, but, like, come on. Followed by this. Followed by, okay, she has basically gotten her back. She has slit her throat. It was pointed out by, I think, Master of the Deck. I'll play them all back to back here. Look, she murders her with her hands, and she murders her with a knife. She doesn't use the power once to kill her. So I feel like this is very, very, very personal for Lanfear, which, you know, makes sense. She was bested by somebody that she would consider basically an aunt. So she would want to best her, I feel like, in the equivalent way. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, it's just, this is such a cool sequence. I even love that transition from the one murder to the other murder. It's just so cool. The other thing I did with this is give you this scene, but flipped over. It's Tar Valon. That just looks like, you could probably still tell when it was upside down, but when you invert it, it's like, oh, that's clearly Tar Valon. Like, everything, yeah, that's where that is. Not much to say about this scene, because, like, you can't really see very much, but this is Moiraine talking to Lan. This is her telling him that every situation in which Rand was able to live was a situation in which she didn't. And, yeah, she looks relatively devastated about this. This is probably, well, not probably, it's clearly her after Rhuidean. This scene, badass Alanna. Still like Alanna, and it still worries me so much. This effect looks super cool as she, like, explodes the tiles on the streets of Tar Valon. Again, assuming, yeah, that this is Tar Valon, assuming this is part of the shredding that we've seen happen. We've got Ivan, a new actor, I think, playing Ivan over, hold on, when we go over here. This doesn't look like the other Ivan, so I think we got a new actor playing Ivan. And I'm going to move back over here. Maxim. If you look at Maxim, When we get back here, he looks like his face is all bloodied. He's been through it already. He's hunched over. I think this is like a big fight with the Black Aja here. Okay, I did not catch what this was at all during my reaction. It just looked like, oh, Rand doing, power stuff. Cool. Okay. First of all, okay, I'm going to play it with sound. Hold on. Did you hear that? That's glass shattering. Those are mirrors. Look at this. Like the way they are disintegrating here into shards of glass. This is a bubble of evil. Rand is fighting his reflection. Like, here, there's one reflection there. There's another reflection up here. And I've heard some people say that they see a woman on the bed that, like, this particular reflection is attacking. I can't see it, but I haven't done any lightning of this or anything. It's possible that there's somebody on the bed. It does look like it's attacking something or someone, but I don't necessarily see anything under it. But it could be. It could be Elayne. I don't know. I don't know if Elayne's going to be in the show. Wouldn't miss her, to be honest, if she wasn't. Sorry to the Elayne stands out there, but whatever. But this is so badass. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like that effect is so cool when they shatter into glass. I'm so excited. This looks like people talking in a bowl, a golden bowl, perhaps. Cardal, is that what it's called? I can't remember. But this is Rand, and this person here, Couladin. How do I know? Check his arms. Those are dragon tattoos. Now, during my trailer reaction, I was confused by this, just because something about the way this looks like Shanchan to me. Now, it's probably just a hood pulled back, but I can't think that that's not a bit intentional. That, like, it is heavily implied, especially in The Shadow Rising, that the Shanchan armor is styled after Age of Legends armor. So, they basically carried that with them. The Aiel would also carry some traditions from the Age of Legends, so it would actually make sense to me that some of their styling might carry some of those same remnants to me. So these having echoes of each other, like the Aiel and the Shanchan, I should say, having some echoes of each other in their styling, it rhymes in a way that makes sense to me. But this is clearly Couladin with the tattoos here. I'm assuming he's announced himself as the dragon. We've got chairs up here and people standing. So we've got, let's see, there's 2 chairs we can see. One person sitting here, 2 people, and then people standing. I'm going to guess the people sitting are clan chiefs. I think there is reference, if I remember correctly, to chairs basically only being used by clan chiefs. And then that would be wise ones then standing beside them. That's my guess. Not much to say about the shot, except, yes, please. I think this is the dress she murdered Moiraine in. That's my only real thought. Just, yes, please. We are back in Icardal. I think that's I should probably look it up, but I'm not going to. The Golden Bowl. We see here, Rand appears to be taking off his jacket, I'm assuming to show his glittering tattoos. Couladin probably already has, so that's the shot that we saw from behind. And then again, you've got all these people, these chairs. So there's 8 chairs, not 12. Not 12, it would be 12. So we've got less tribes, which actually, again, rhymes with there being less Forsaken. So I don't know. It makes sense to me. We don't need them all for the show. Like, some of the tribes and septs really only get name checked in the books. They don't really, I don't remember us meeting people from every single one. So just condensing them makes sense. These people here, I guess, would be wise ones, although they're wearing, I don't know. It could be the shadows, because everybody looks like they're wearing black, which would not be what people would be wearing living in the waste. That is, it just like that, you're going to be hot. You're going to be real hot. I'm assuming that it's because of shadows, because even these people in the front all look like they're wearing black, which, again, not smart for the waste. It was noted, I think, on the Dusty Wheel that this one person looks like they're wearing different clothes than the others. And so there is a suggestion that this person is Savannah. who should not be a clan chief, but she would try and usurp that role. That makes sense to me. So yeah, this is probably the one clip where the lesbian part of my identity became very relevant, because I did not look at this person at all. I just assumed it was Maxim. I didn't look at his face. It was just like, man, shirt off. Okay, let's see what else is happening in this scene. It's not Maxim. Like, look at his face. That's not Maxim. Anyway, it's Galad. It is the actor who plays Galad, clearly. And when seeing other people who perhaps appreciate the male form more than me, all of them had the reaction of like, "Ooh, who's that?" That is the appropriate reaction for those who appreciate the male form to have to Galad. So good on you, casting. Good on you. People in the background. Again, looking quickly, I was like, oh, Elayne, Egwene, and other people. Kevin, who is our resident fandom Elayne expert, is fairly certain this is not Elayne. And I don't actually have a zoomed in image, but when you zoom in, it does not look like Elayne. It looks like somebody who is meant to evoke Elayne. And this person does not look like Egwene, but again, looks like somebody who is meant to make you go, oh, Egwene. So I don't know. I'm thinking, though, because they are wearing novice and accepted attire, that this is obviously the tower. The only issue with that is that this person has what, again, when you zoom in, this looks like a lion crest, which is the royal crest of Andor. So, yeah, I guess they could have brought their own guards with them to watch them, because they are royalty, like Gawad. I'm saying them. It could just be Galad. I don't know if Gawad's going to be in the show, but they could have brought their own guards with them. I don't know. And there is a suggestion that this then could be the fight between Galad and Matt. Again, your guess as good as mine. What it clearly looks like to me, though, Galad training, novices swooning. Straight out of the books. No thoughts about this except, yes, please, give me land sword fighting. I want it. I want it all. Yeah. Hammer. Strike. I actually said this at the end of my reaction. I think this is Perrin. It could maybe not be. I heard somebody say that they don't think it is, and I don't know what their justification for thinking it's not Perrin is. But it could be. But I think we might get the scene from the Dragon Reborn that I really like, but sort of obviously changed and in a different location, but get it in the Two Rivers instead. So he will do like just an extended blacksmithing scene, maybe with Faile watching and, catching feelings as she watches him be good at something, really, really good at something. He's clearly, I'm saying clearly, we could all be wrong, but this looks like the half moon blade of an axe, a specific axe that you see him carrying later on in this self-same trailer. Min! In her only appearance in the trailer. Now, okay, I was on a Dusty Wheel, and they spoke about this like it was Tanchico, and very, very obviously Tanchico. One of the reasons they said is things like the torches on the wall evoked other scenes in Tanchico. My initial reaction when I watched this, and I'm not willing to die on this hill, like I'm not saying that I'm right and they're wrong, but this, I will tell you, my initial reaction when I saw this was, oh, this is Min in the bowels of the tower after Swan has been stilled. And she's down there to try and rescue her. Because that's what happens in the books. Swan gets stilled, Min rescues her. And that's how they escape. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I don't know where Min could be, like where it makes sense most for Min to be geographically, because the last we saw her, she was in Cairhien. So I don't know, but that was my initial reaction to this. But other people are speaking as if this is very clearly Tanchico. This could be, and Tanchico is kind of a chaotic city. And, this could be a storage room in Tanchico where, I don't know, perhaps certain items were found. It doesn't look like the Panox Palace. Absolutely doesn't look like that. But, these are my thoughts. This is the only Matt we get in the trailer. Well, again, much like Nynaeve, not the only Matt we get. We'll get to it. But the first thing to notice, he is not wearing his tissue paper clothes that he's been wearing for 2 seasons. I'm very happy about that. The second thing to notice are these markings on his neck. Now, as a book fan, my first thought was, oh, we got the bubbles of evil. We got the reflections. These could be slices from decks like cards that somehow came to life and poked him in the neck. I don't know. I heard other people say it's Maiden's Kiss. He looks a bit distraught for it having been Maiden's Kiss. I don't know. But he's been through something. It's very hard to tell like what's happening in the scene. There's not much going on in the background. The only thing is like this, what appears to be firelight on his face. Okay, I know I said that the Avendosora was my favorite scene. This might be my favorite scene because look. Also, Lanfear choking Moiraine. Anyway, Moggy and Liandrin. I'm ready for the chaos that she is going to bring. This is, again, I've said it a million times. This is not at all how I envisioned Moggy, but this is so interesting to me, and I cannot wait. And the attitude that she's looking at Liandrin with here. The read I had on this initially is, again, having read the books, if you've read the books, you know, Moggy spends some time masquerading as a servant. And so that's what I think, like, that was my initial thought is here. This is in, like, the home where Liandrin and the other dark friends are hiding out. Moggy is pretending to be a servant, but she's given attitude, because look at that attitude. And Liandrin is refusing to look at her because, you know, Liandrin thinks that she's too good to interact with the servants, aside from yelling at them being mad. So that was my read on this. I've heard other people suggest that Moggy has frozen them somehow, like with compulsion, and is examining them in this way. She could also be exploring them in their dreams in a way that they can't see. She is the spider. She hides well. What is your take on this? What do you think? Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Yeah, it's the Love Shack. It's the Love Dream Shack. Clearly, yeah. And they are smooching. I called this before it happened, like on the live stream before this trailer dropped, but I called it as a joke. Like, they'll show us one soiree in smooch, and I'll spend the entire season waiting for it to happen, because it shouldn't happen, but here it is happening. So they're, I think, going to get back together, because I think this is not like just a fantasy dream. I think this is an actual dream. Like, they're actually in Teleron Riyadh. And again, like I said, my working theory, based on the vibes, is that they have this like reunion, they get smoochy, and then they get a little amorous, and then Lanfear does a little coitus interruptus, and it gets bad. So that's my guess. Ooh, wait, okay, as I'm talking this through, Lanfear does a little coitus interruptus. That would be in a vision, I think, because Lanfear, I think, kills her in that scene, like chokes her to death in bed. So I don't know. I like the idea of Lanfear doing a little coitus interruptus in reality, but then Moiraine would have to live. So, okay. What are your thoughts? Tell me. Let me know. Smooch number 1 followed immediately, or smooch number, what was that? 3 followed by smooch number 4. Sorry. Smooching. I'm assuming Faile. I haven't lightened this up. Like, this is just what it looks like. But, oh, this warms my heart. That I have read these books, I don't even know how many times, and Perrin and Faile made me cry multiple times in this last reread. Like, I just read The Shadow Rising, and I generally do audiobooks, so I'm just like crying on the bus, listening to their story, listening to, you know, Faile come back, and listening to their wedding, listening to the letter that Perrin writes her. I love them together, except for when I don't love them together. But when it's good, it's so good. And I'm hoping that the show is going to make it mostly good. So, yeah, this made me happy. I can't wait for Faile. Who this bitch? I don't know who this is. I, along with everybody, initially was like, oh, it's Elayne. But then looking at it, I don't think it's Elayne. And then other people were like, no, Jenny, you're crazy. It's obviously Elayne. But then Kevin, our, again, resident Elayne expert, came in and was like, no, it's not Elayne. And like came with comparison screenshots of like the bridges of their nose are different, and the cheekbones. And it's like, okay, I don't know. If it's Elayne, okay, cool. If it's not Elayne, because of the resemblance to Elayne, my thought is like, oh, it's Morghese. But then I think that we know who is cast to play Morghese, which means that this can't be Morghese, because that's not her. So, I don't know, Wise One? Tuatha, guesses in the comments, please, because I am at a loss. Along with, I had a file labeled Creepy Rand. This file is labeled Creepy Egwene, because she's kind of doing a creepy little tiny smirk here. And the best explanation I heard for this came from Matt Hatch of going, what if this is Lanfear? Like in Teleron Riyadh doing a little switcheroo, because there's this little smirk that comes at the end that's just like a little evil. This looks like Egwene in the waist with her short hair. It's something about the blurry coming out of focus. My thought before Matt said that was this is her figuring out how to fall into the dream somehow, and that's what the focus was showing. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? I think this is Rand just going through it while going through the columns. And most of this trailer, I don't think this, but I actually think that these, like this shot and the next shot, this one, are back to back. I think, or like somehow interspersed, because this man is yelling, and I think that is actually Yoshisadowski yelling, like playing basically the part of his father. That's clearly Jandin holding Shail to Grain after finding her corpse. This is something I actually never thought about until reading this. Poor Jandin. Like Jandin, I mean, obviously poor to Grain, obviously, but his, like the woman he loved was pregnant with his child, and then he finds them and the baby's just gone, and like he has no idea, and she's like, this would be heartbreaking for him. I never thought about that, really, this moment, like what this moment must have been like for him. But yeah, so I feel like this shot and this shot are back to back, and we are going to, like, this might be the mechanism to show us, because everybody who's watched the show will recognize what this is and will realize, that's Rand's dad. So that it will explain basically him going through his ancestors' memories. That, like, this will be the shorthand for explaining that to us. So yeah, that's what I think this is going to be. Okay, this is clearly the shredding. This is clearly Tar Valon. That is Liandrin, all bloody in her red and black outfit, fighting with, I think that is Alanna there. The hair, like the decorations in her hair make me think that is Alanna. And yeah, this would be the shredding. One of the things I've been quite worried about as to how it could happen is how is Liandrin going to get exposed? As I don't think, like, I know people were saying Liandrin would take, like some people had the theory Liandrin would be Elaida, and I never thought that, because I feel like Liandrin and Elaida do very, very different things narratively in the story. So yeah. So clearly in this instance, Liandrin has been exposed. And if Egwene makes it back to the tower, Egwene and Elayne make it back to the tower, which we know Egwene does because she does her accepted test, that will expose her clearly. So yeah, that's what this is. I think this is the shredding that we're seeing, and I cannot wait. Perrin with armor and a half moon blade axe. Finally. Okay. The armor was what made me think of this, not the axe, weirdly, because when I first saw the axe, I figured that's the same axe that he probably picked up from the White Cloaks, but I think it's the one that he's making, or somebody, if it's not him, is making in the blacksmith shop. But the armor was what made me think that he would have that scene of blacksmithing in the Two Rivers, because why would he have armor in the Two Rivers? Like, people in the Two Rivers don't generally have armor, so it would have to be made, and there are blacksmiths there. I mean, there's at least one. The other thing to note in this scene, look at that. That's a white cloak. This is colorful clothing, so that could be a Tuathamon, but that is a white cloak back there. Like, it's not even just white, like it's a fully a cloak. And then there was some discussion that this other person on his side over here looks like they're throwing a knife. Maybe that's Faile. I don't know, but this is the Battle of the Two Rivers, or at least one of the battles that happens in the Two Rivers, and give it to me. When is it March? Is it March tomorrow? Can it be March now, please? Beg for March. As we transition to this scene, which is going to break me. This is not in the Two Rivers. I was assuming, again, that Alanna would be in the Two Rivers, and that, I'm making a ton of assumptions here. I'm making the assumption that this is Maxim's death, and that Alanna is weeping over Maxim, and this is clearly in Tar Valon. So, yeah, we have done some moving, or maybe not moving people around, because this is Alanna not having gone to the Two Rivers. But yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for a while. I don't think Maxim is going to last. It could be Ivan. It could be an Aes Sedai. But I am fully of the belief that this is Maxim and is sad. Okay, I've been calling this and it's even saved on my computer as the formation. Beyonce's, come on, ladies, now let's get in formation. That song, because that's what this just is giving to me. But that's like, okay, the first take, that is Lanfear, and was like, okay, that's got to be Rand. Then in front of her, this is one of the ways I guess she kills him or something. But then, okay, I got a clip of the face. And that doesn't look like I can't tell who that is. This also can't tell who that is. But, I can tell you who it's not. It is not Yasha Stradowski. That is not Rand. So, very much not Rand. The only other person that I think it could be is Moiraine, maybe after having been tortured and had her hair cut. This would then be another vision. Because as you can see, it's spinning. It's doing that spinning thing that I think happens during Moiraine's visions. So this could be just another way that Lanfear kills her. And it's in the waves. You can see this. This is happening in the waves. You see those other paths that are just floating in the air there above her. Now, the other thing that happened when I was trying to get the close-up of the face, I noticed something else. Okay. The first one I noticed was Matt. I was like, is that Donald Flynn? Oh my God. And the second I realized that was Matt, everybody else locked in. Because that's Matt, that's Elayne, that's Perrin, that's Moghedien in the background, who's not as exciting to see. I mean, Moghedien being evil makes sense, but okay. And then that's Nynaeve, that's Egwene, and that's Rand looking, another creepy Rand. He's looking all weird. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. This is obviously mirror universe stuff going on, but it's amazing. Just look at them. I need to see cosplay of all of this. This is, I love it. I love this shot so much. And then we get this, Rand carrying Moiraine. And it's just beautiful. To me, this feels like a coming full circle. We've had a lot of Moiraine taking care of Rand and protecting him. And this is, I'm assuming her having been through the hell of the rings, him basically having been through the columns, also been through hell, but he did better, I guess, survived, and basically bringing her out of Rhuidean. That's what I'm assuming is happening here. And yeah, it is beautiful. The thought I had when not watching this, but the thought I had when I saw it on the poster was, you know that book, Love You Forever? And there's I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, your my baby you'll be. And it begins with the mom rocking her baby, and the last page is the baby rocking the mom because, the mom gotten older. It's just that full circle thing of eventually the caretaker needs caretaking. And that's, the passing of the torch is the phrase that I've heard a lot. I'll talk about that at the end. Sorry. Whether or not Moiraine survives was what I was going to talk about at the end. The other thing I'll do just now is let you hear Moraine's dialogue throughout this, because I've been doing this mostly silent. So this is what she says throughout the trailer.
I have seen 1,000 futures. In every future where I lived, Rand dies. And the only way he lives is if I don't. You cannot afford to fail again.
The trailer is very, very heavily hinting that Moiraine is going to die. Trailers lie, I know, but I'm obviously going to give spoilers to book 5 in this video, but Moiraine does die. And so she doesn't die in this storyline in the books, though. She dies, doesn't die in book 4, she dies in book 5. So they could make it earlier, and it would be a natural passing of the torch, right? To have her die in this season and not next season. I am I think I said it before, I'm about 60-40 that no, she doesn't die. Partially because they have hinted at it so much. So it won't be as much of a gut punch when she dies if it's been built up to. It'll still be a gut punch, but it won't be as much of a gut punch. Whereas I think if she dies next season, after having survived this season, then I think that will be more of a gut punch. So that, and even especially if they have her die even early on-ish in the season, and then you spend the whole season thinking that she's going to come back in the season finale and she doesn't. That would be, it would, I know that would hit me if I did not know the story. That would punch me in the stomach so hard. So Yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm not sure because they are leaning really, really, really heavily into for Rand to live, Moiraine must die. All right, there you have it. Those are all of my thoughts, shot by shot, from the trailer. It's not, a detailed breakdown. I didn't have notes or anything, but these are just my thoughts after having watched the trailer a bajillion times today. I'm going to probably watch it more and probably do a special look at the costumes in the trailer at some point, but or the teaser. This is not the trailer. Calling it a teaser means we're going to get a trailer, right? Like that's what that means, right? Right? Gimme. Anyway, so I probably will be doing that, but those are my thoughts after this, the teaser. Let me know your thoughts or anything you disagree with me on what I guessed at in the trailer. Let's just know I have been wrong about the overwhelming majority of my predictions, I think. Actually, I've never done a statistical analysis of my predictions. Maybe I've been better than I think I am. I just remember the times I'm wrong. Like, those are the ones that sit with me. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments below. And if you like my content and you want to support me, I also have a Patreon that is linked in the description below. To my patrons, as always, thank you so, so much for your continued support. This would be impossible without you, so thank you so much. And with that, I will end this here. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you for whatever else the Wheel of Time gives us. I bet you it's going to start coming real fast.